Hey everybody, this is the Mage of Ancients, previously known as Anything Neal. Just to clear things up, before I started this new channel, I had a separate channel where I posted videos all about video games. I wanted to post videos about things other than video games, which is why I started this new channel, hence the name Anything Neal. But now that I'm starting to upload more and more Yu-Gi-Oh content, I figured that it's time for my channel to get a name change. So from now on, this channel is going to be called Mage of Ancients. The new name is based off of the two decks that I first built after I came back into Yu-Gi-Oh, which are Dark Magician and Ancient Gears. So tell me what you guys think about the new name in the comments below. In the meantime, for this video, I'm going to be giving you my August 2017 update for my Ancient Gear deck profile. To put things bluntly, it has been a while since I updated my Ancient Gear deck profile, but now it has the Machine Reactor Structure Deck support, as well as the new Ancient Gear monster from Code of the Duelist. And of course, it's updated to suit the new Link format, so if you're looking for a deck that you want to play that goes against Link monsters, then you should definitely consider the Ancient Gears. So let's get started with this deck profile. First thing that I run is double Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon. This is basically the boss monster of your main deck. So what this does is that this card gains effects depending on whether you tribute an Ancient Gear or a Gadget monster. Tributing your Ancient Gear Gadget actually makes this process a lot easier. So this card gains either the piercing damage or a second attack during each battle phase. Also, when this card attacks, you can pop a spell or trap on the field. This could also be your Gear Town, so you're granted a special summon off of Gear Town thanks to Reactor Dragon. And of course, you cannot have an Ancient Gear deck without your Ancient Gear Golems. I run two of that. So what's good about Golem is that it does piercing damage, and it also prevents your opponent from activating any spells or traps when it attacks. And the Golem is also very crucial when you want to go into your ultimate Ancient Gear Golem fusion. And I'll get to that in just a few minutes. Now, another thing that you want to keep in mind is that while Reactor Dragon is searchable off of Gear Town, your Golem is not. So that's why I'd like to have a backup, and that is my Ancient Gear Gadgetron Dragon. This card gains effects depending on whether you tribute a red, yellow, or green gadget, and you have your Ancient Gear Gadget to help you out with that. Next is the searcher of any Ancient Gear deck, and that is triple Ancient Gear Wyvern. When it attacks, your opponent's monsters cannot activate their effects until the end of the damage step. But more importantly, this is the card that you need in order to gather all the Ancient Gear monsters that you need, or any other Ancient Gear card for that matter. Again, Ancient Gear Wyvern is one of the most crucial cards in any Ancient Gear deck. And another crucial card that you'll want to have in your Ancient Gear deck is Ancient Gear Hunting Hound, and I run triple of that. Your Hound basically has a built-in polymerization, so you can fusion summon your Ancient Gear monsters, including this card, so that you can already get the more powerful monsters from your extra deck. After that, I run double Ancient Gear Box. This is basically a mini searcher, and the only reason why Box is there is that so you can search. This can be searched off of your Wyvern, so that way you can search out your Ancient Gear Gadget, and I have that right here. I run double of Ancient Gear Gadget, and again, Ancient Gear Gadget can be tributed in order to get all the effects that you need for Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon. Just as long as that you have Gear Town out on the field, so that way you can tribute only one monster instead of two. So that's my Ancient Gear monster lineup. The other monsters that I run in my deck are double Gold Gadget and double Silver Gadget. These cards, I just love these cards. Ever since I got these in the movie pack, I just had to make use of these. What's cool about Gold and Silver Gadget is that both Gold and Silver Gadget lets you special summon a level 4 machine from your hand. With that being said, you can basically normal summon your Gold Gadget and then special summon your Silver Gadget, and that lets you special summon your Wyverns and lets you get all the Ancient Gear cards that you need off of Wyvern. And after that, since I run a lot of Earth monsters, then I decided to run double True King Lithos the Disaster. I like to call it True King Lithos just so nobody gets confused. But this is one of my favorite cards for Raging Tempest. What's cool about True King Lithos is that when you have gathered your Ancient Gear box or your gadget, you can send those to the graveyard so you can special summon this, and then banish 3 cards from your opponent's extra deck with different names. So True King Lithos is actually much more crucial than before, since Link monsters are here, and you want to trip your opponents up by getting rid of those Link monsters so that the duel basically tips into your favor. Now, one of the most crucial cards that you want in an Ancient Gear deck is Gear Town, and I run triple of that. Not only does this let you summon Ancient Gear monsters for one less tribute, when this card is destroyed, then you can basically special summon any Ancient Gear monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. And with that being said, this could actually start off some really crazy combos. And to search out your Gear Town, of course, you want to run triple Terraforming. After that, you want to run triple Ancient Gear Catapult. This is the other crucial card that you want to have in an Ancient Gear deck. What's cool about Catapult is that when you have no monsters on your field, you can activate your Catapult to target and destroy a face-up card you control, and then you can special summon Ancient Gear monster from your deck ignoring summoning conditions. And that includes your Ancient Gear Golem and your Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound. As a matter of fact, Gear Town and Ancient Gear Catapult together is one of the most basic combos that you want in an Ancient Gear deck. Actually, one of the most basic combos that you want to know for an Ancient Gear deck. Catapult also gets the same effect while it's in the graveyard. You can banish it and then destroy a card in the field, and then special summon an Ancient Gear token. Believe it or not, that second effect could actually help you out later on the duel, or maybe early in the duel. And if you want to get Catapult into your graveyard very quickly, then you want to run Foolish Burial Goods. Unfortunately, I don't have that card in the moment, but I will include it hopefully in the next update. Now this card isn't as important as Gear Town, but I still think it's pretty crucial. I run double Ancient Gear Fortress for this build. Simply put, Ancient Gear Fortress is extra protection for your Ancient Gear monsters. But at the same time, you cannot special summon any other monsters during the turn except for Ancient Gear monsters. Ancient Gear Fortress is basically extra protection for your Ancient Gear monsters. Plus, this is another target that your Ancient Gear Catapult can destroy. And it gets pretty much the same effect, except unlike Gear Town, Ancient Gear Fortress can only let you special summon an Ancient Gear monster from your hand or your graveyard, but I still think it's pretty cool. Next is backup for my Ancient Gear Catapult, because Catapult can only be activated when you have no monsters on the field. And that's why Twin Twisters is a good alternative to Ancient Gear Catapult. It's also good for clearing your opponent's back row if necessary. And after that, since I run machine monsters, I have one limiter removal for potential OTKs. Of course, your only copy of limiter removal. And afterwards, I was able to include Overload Fusion in my build. Of course, Chaos Ancient Gear Giant is a dark machine type monster, so this is a card that you want to have in this deck. And finally, for my spells, I was very reluctant about actually including this card, but this could actually help out very well. And that's why I decided to finally run one copy of Power Bond in my deck. The only downside to Power Bond is that during your end phase, you actually lose points equal to the original attack of of the fusion monster summoned off of Power Bond. But the fact that it doubles your machine type fusion monster's attack power makes up for it. So in conclusion, Power Bond is really good for OTKs. So that's my spell lineup. And now let's go on to my traps. You don't necessarily have to play traps in this build. However, I still think traps are pretty necessary even in an Ancient Gear deck. So I do run one copy of Ancient Gear Reborn. Basically, when you have no monsters on the field, then you can special summon an Ancient Gear monster from your graveyard with 200 extra attack points. Then after that, since some of my Ancient Gear monsters do piercing damage, then it does not hurt to have Quaking Mirror Force. Of course, since Link monsters are here, that you can switch this out for Mirror Force or Storming Mirror Force. Just something to keep in mind. Then to combo off of cards like Raigeki or let's say Limiter Removal, or what else is there? Or Ancient Gear Catapult, then it does not hurt to have double Induced Explosion. You never know, this could help out. So basically what Induced Explosion does is that when a card you control is destroyed by a spell, they can activate Induced Explosion to target a card that your opponent controls and destroy it. Again, you don't play that many traps in an Ancient Gear deck, but these are some suggestions that you want to keep in mind. Now for my side deck, of course, choosing which cards to include your side deck is all about personal preference. You can choose whatever cards that you want based on what you think cards will help support your deck, or it could go against the meta. Of course, I guess Zodiacs are still there, and of course the Link monsters, you can include cards in your side deck to actually go up against Link monsters. So to start off, from Code of the Duelist, we have the new Ancient Gear monster, which is Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound. This is kind of like the original Ancient Gear Golem, only it has its own special abilities. It still does piercing damage, but at the same time, when you go into your battle phase, you can attack, and if it destroys an opponent's monster, you can discard a machine so it can attack again. So with that being said, your Ultimate Pound can basically attack 3 times during each battle phase. And remember that Ancient Gear box and Gadget combo that I told you guys earlier about? Well, the box and the Gadget can be the machine type monsters that you discard, so this Ultimate Pound can attack 3 times per battle phase. Ultimate Pound also has the ability to let you search out polymerization from your deck as well as another Ancient Gear monster when it's destroyed by battle or card effects. So that's something that you also want to keep in mind. After that, I do run a couple of Kaiju cards. Of course, it's Gameciel, the Sea Turtle Kaiju. It's far less than cards like True King Lithos or the Ancient Gear Golems or Reactor Dragons, which is why I decided to just run a couple copies of Gameciel in my side deck. And of course, for draw power, you want to have your 1 copy of Max C. I don't know if this card is going to be banned or not, but still, I still think this card is really cool. Then after that, to add Ancient Gear monsters from your graveyard and add them to your hand, of course, double Ancient Gear Workshop. And so that you can see it more, another copy of Overload Fusion, 1 copy of Book of Moon, 1 Torrential Tribute, Mirror Force, a 3rd copy of Quaking Mirror Force. Again, you can make this into Mirror Force or Stormy Mirror Force if you want to, so you can go against those Link monsters. Double Call of the Haunted, and so I can get that extra power boost, I run double Rocket Hand. This is also another alternative to pop your Gear Town or your Ancient Gear Fortress if you need to. Rocket Hand is actually one of my other favorite cards from Raging Tempest. While Rocket Hand is equipped to one of your monsters, you can send the equipped Rocket Hand to your graveyard so you can destroy a card on the field. It could be your Gear Town or you could be your Ancient Gear Fortress. It could be anything. So Rocket Hand is a really cool card that I decided to keep in my side deck for now. And finally, for my extra deck, of course, I don't run Link monsters, but I still think that it's crucial to have cards like this in my extra deck. One of your boss monsters that you want to have for your Ancient Gear deck is Chaos Ancient Gear Giant. I absolutely love this card. So not only is your Giant unaffected by spells and traps, but it also prevents your opponent's monsters from activating their effects. Also, since there are going to be a lot of Link monsters like basically swarming the field, the Chaos Ancient Gear Giant can attack pretty much every single monster that your opponent has on the field once each. Keep in mind that Chaos Ancient Gear Giant cannot be affected by cards like Limiter Removal or Power Bond. And just like a few other Ancient Gear monsters, it does deal piercing damage, so that's really cool. And since I have Ancient Gear Golem in my deck, that you want to run at least 1 copy of Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem. Now this card can be affected by Power Bond and Limiter Removal. As a matter of fact, what you can do is that you can use Limiter Removal on your Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem, so that way it's destroyed in the end phase, and so that way you can special summon your Ancient Gear Golem back from your deck. One thing that you can do is that when your Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem is destroyed, let's say by Limiter Removal, during the end phase, what you can do is that you can special summon your regular Ancient Gear Golem back from your graveyard. And after that, I run triple Ancient Gear Howitzer. You can make this 2 if you want to. So not only is Howitzer unaffected by other card effects, you can basically say that your Ancient Gear Howitzer is a scapegoat, so that when your opponent attacks it and destroys it by battle, then you can special summon your Ancient Gear Wyvern or your Ancient Gear Golem, because it says here, ignoring its summoning conditions. And for the rest of my extra deck, I do run Xyz monsters. I run a couple of rank 8s, specifically Hieratic Sun Dragon, Overlord of Heliopolis is another way to destroy cards on the field. And I also run number 23 Lancelot, Dark Knight of the Underworld for direct attacks. It's also nice that this card can negate monster effects and spells and trap effects during either player's turn. Next, to search out your rank 4 or lower machine monsters, I run double Gear Gigant X. Is it Gear Gigant or Gear Gigant? Anyway, I decided to just go ahead and say Gear Gigant X. And so that your machine monsters can attack directly, I have 1 heavy armored Train Iron Wolf. And another way to destroy cards like Gear Town and Ancient Gear Fortress, I do run 1 number 59 Crooked Cook. After that, I run 1 Castel, 1 copy of Evil Swarm Ouroboros in case you have, let's say a gold gadget, a silver gadget, and an Ancient Gear Wyvern on the field. And just like Evil Swarm Ouroboros, which is Xyz summoned by using 3 level 4 monsters, I also have 1 number 104 Masquerade. Yeah, see, there it is. Number 104 Masquerade. I'm sorry, I'm using my window as lighting. So that's my August update for the Ancient Gear deck, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope this gives you some ideas of what you can incorporate into your own anti-link decks. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, give me suggestions in the comments on what I should do to improve this deck profile, as well as suggestions for future videos and deck profiles you want me to do. And of course, be sure to subscribe, and there will be plenty more Yu-Gi-Oh videos like this to come. And also be sure to check my Ancient Gear combo video if you haven't seen it already. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time.